Throwing now. Palmer on first down. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Really nice play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball, but for the guys on the offensive line, they're doing a nice job of trying to protect their passer. But when a guy hops in the air and goes airborne to try and knock one away, it's difficult because you can't reach out and grab it, and that'll be a holding penalty. So all you're trying to do is make some type of a play on him, make some type of contact to try and get his arms out of the sky.
And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 12 yards there as they move the chains. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
Now Palmer on first down. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Kerry Hyder in there to get him for his second sack of the night.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
Now Palmer to throw on second down. And he's going to go down again.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Palmer gets him set. 3rd and long for the Cardinals after the sack. Here's Palmer to throw. And the pressure gets to him again.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. That's pulled in at the 32. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And out will come the offense as they take over. And Detroit getting set to go now. And things are starting to move in the right direction. They get the touchdown last drive, then their defense gets them the football back.
Yeah, now they have a chance to get the lead if they can put something together here. I'm eager to see how they decide to do it. Do they want to be methodical, or do they want to take the big strike and go after it right now?
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. To throw on second down is Stafford. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked by Brandon Williams. And his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line.
Well, surprise, surprise, partner. No, we know it's not a surprise. When you try to complete a pass against this Cardinals defense, there's a reason that they are known as the no-fly zone.
And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down. On 2nd down, Palmer. And he slings one that's incomplete. The intended receiver was David Johnson, and now it's 3rd down.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
Now Palmer on 3rd and long. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. Aaron Lynch in there to take him down and to take us to the 2-minute warning. Here's Andy Lee now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And this will be up to the ruling of the side judge here. He says it crossed out of bounds at the 16-yard line. Now the Lions offense, they get ready to head back out there. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
Second and 10, Stafford again. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off at the 28. And this one will be brought back to the 22. Well, Charles, he's thrown 5 picks in a game before. And right now, after that one, he's standing on number 4.
And right now, your defensive coordinator is asking the offense coordinator, can you do anything to slow this down? Because my guys have to keep running back out on the field. So play calling may come into it a little bit, maybe run the ball a little bit more. But a lot of it depends on the scoreboard. They may have to keep throwing it.
It's a gain of 9 yards. And it'll be second and about a yard to go for the first. Throwing is Palmer. Screenplay, Johnson. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it leads to a 1st and goal.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
He didn't seem in a rush. I guess they just didn't know where the play clock was.
I think you're right about that because there was no hurried movements there, right? No up-tempo at all. Clock just ran out. I think he was as surprised as maybe his bench was.
They'll throw on 1st down here with Palmer. That's complete right around the 8. And he'll take this one in for the Arizona touchdown. Jermaine Gresham, his first touchdown on the year. And the Cardinals will extend their lead. And they'll get set here looking for the 2-point conversion. Now they send a man in motion right. They'll try and run for it with Johnson. And he finds his way into the end zone as the lead moves to 10. They get the conversion. And, Charles, when you only have 2 yards to go, what do you think of the toss play? Because initially it kind of sets you back a little bit.
It does, especially if you get a lot of pressure coming towards you. But if you can get to the edge, if you seal the edge with your blocking, often your tackle or your tight end on what they call the play side where the ball goes, you can get to the corner, and that allows those big guys to get out ahead of the runner.
And Detroit getting set to go now. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk is a big decision here.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked by Brandon Williams. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody...
And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. The Cardinals going to use the first of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. On second down, here's Palmer. And he is out of bounds, just a yard or two shy of the 30. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for third down.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
On third down, Palmer being chased out left. He opted to go with a scramble, gets 2 yards, and now it's 4th.
Well, partner, nothing comes open here, so he decides to escape out of there, and he doesn't pick up a first down, but he does gain additional yardage to set up a possible field goal attempt if they decide to go that route.
And his kick is absolutely perfect. And that will extend their lead even further. So he splits the uprights there, and I would imagine it's nice as a kicker. Right when it leaves your foot, you know it's good.
Yeah, it's kind of like a golfer that picks up his tee after a nice drive without even watching it land.
Solid analogy. I like it. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. So out now come the Lions. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
The final shot before the break, Stanford. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. The Lions offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. So here we go, 1st and 10 now. On the handoff, this is Ferguson. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
Here's Stafford now on second down. And the pressure gets to him and brings him down. Stafford is sacked. Marcus Golden from that outside linebacker spot. He's able to get in there for a loss of 9. After the sack, Stafford and the Lions come up on a 3rd and long situation. From the gun, here's Stafford. He's going to let one fly for Tate. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Credit the secondary and credit the defensive game plan. They've been in his hip pocket all game long. They understood coming in that he was a big-time receiver.
And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Now it's Peterson. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Cards are going to have the football with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. They begin the drive with Johnson. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he takes this across the 15 to the 17. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Third quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here. Off the play fake. Here's Palmer. Oh, ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked off near the 32. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27.
This interception will go on the record of the quarterback, but as a receiver, you've got to understand where you are in the field. Middle portion, you know it's going to come in hot. Square your body to the quarterback and be ready to make the catch.
Really nice starting field position here for the offensive unit. After the interception, here's Stafford. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Ferguson. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. The turnover put them in great field position. They don't want to squander it with 3rd down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
And this one is right down Broadway. And that gets them back within 10. So the defense gets the pick. The offense, Charles, they go backwards, but they do get 3 points.
Very happy to get to 3, but you know who's happier? The defensive team on the other side. They shut them down after the turnover.
Prater now will send it away following the made field goal. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11. They go play action now. Palmer. Going to throw right side here. Complete. A good pick up there. 26 yards.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? It sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. And some space here. Johnson jostles free. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line. That one's good for 35 yards on the ground and a 1st down.
And that's why defense coordinators always preach 11 guys to the ball. Because sometimes you have a missed tackle, but if you have a swarm of guys around, less room for them to roam even after the first missed tackle. In this case, tackle was missed. Plenty of open field to get after that.
They stay on the ground on first with Johnson. They'll get it inside the red zone, but only for a couple down to the 19.
Doesn't matter who you're rooting for in this game. The effort of the man with the football, getting away from one and trying to turn forward and get some yardage, I really liked what he did there.
Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together. Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. It's the 2014 NFL interception leader, Glover Quinn, and he'll be brought down at his own 10-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
On first down at Stafford. And nearly another interception. They've been around the ball all game.
Trying to decipher what's going on out there because I don't know if he's just getting bad reads. I don't know if the defense is confusing him. I don't know if he just has, bad info and intel before he snaps the ball. But he's made some pretty bad decisions with the football lately.
Yeah, several bad decisions on the interceptions he's thrown in. Frankly, that should have been another pick right there. And now here is another interception. Picked off at the 22. And they will score. It's a pick six for the Cardinals touchdown. Well, this has just been obviously a dreadful day for him throwing the football. Now, 4 interceptions. This one leads to 6 points going the other direction. Tough.
Yeah, it is. And this feels old school to me because you never really took out your starting quarterback back in the good old days. No matter what was going on, he was your guy, and you rode him for better or for worse. In today's football, usually we've got a backup who's warmed up and has come into the game. So you can see an old school approach here that's not really benefiting them at this point.
Here's the Lion offense now as they get ready to take over. Now a play fake here on first down. Pressure comes and the Cardinals bring him down. Chandler Jones able to use that strength and get him for a loss of 2.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye. That happened fast and a big sack. Looking to throw on second down. Stafford. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off at about the 31. And they will score. It's a pick six for the Cardinals touchdown. This D wanted to put it away before we even get to the fourth quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spot.
And now here is another interception. Picked off at the 33. And the return will stop right around the 25. With that interception, he just set a record that nobody ever wants to set, and that's the most picks ever in an NFL game. 8.
The last time we saw 7 2001, right?
Yeah,
It's Ty Detmer. He's with the Lions at that time. To get to 8, are we sure he knows what color jerseys his team's wearing in this one?
I don't know. It has not been good.
Well, that's a pretty good drive starter right there, and I don't know, partner, if you're even thinking about sitting on the ball right now. They may just want to run their regular offense.
In plus territory, and as an offensive coordinator, you don't want your team to go into a shell, do you?
No, you really don't, because as soon as you take your foot off the gas, it's real hard to put it back on and mash it, because once everyone's emotions come down, hard to start them up again. So I think he may want to keep them cranking high right here.
And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
On the ground, this is Johnson. And he'll fight his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
Play clock winding down. On 2nd down, Johnson. And he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. The Cardinals on 3rd down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Palmer gives to Johnson. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Give him 3 yards there as that'll take us to 4th down.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. Now, the offense is not leaving the field. They're going to stay out and go for it on 4th and 3. And he will not even make it back to the line of scrimmage. They'll get neither the touchdown nor the 1st down. And the Lions will take over. The Lions offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. And last time, 1 play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give him a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
A gain of 32 that time. On 1st and 10, Stafford looking deep here. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Dayon Buchanan. And he'll return this one just shy of midfield to the 49.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent. And now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
The busy night continues for Johnson. Takes to midfield, but no further. Just a yard there. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. It'll be a gain of 2, and speaking of 2s, it'll take us to the 2-minute warning. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. The Cardinals on 3rd down. They're struggling. 0 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. They'll run it now out of the gun. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And it'll be 4th down. Here's Andy Lee now. He'll boot it away from about his 35. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. Oh, boy, he fielded it right on the goal line. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. So here come the Lions now. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. Stafford now to throw. To the right side to Eric Ebron. And he'll go out of bounds across the 35-yard line. And a nice gain of 21 yards. And on that last catch, Charles, he tops the 150-yard mark. It's one thing when your wideout gets that. When your tight end gets it, it's quite another.
We keep seeing the evolution of that position, don't we? Where we've seen where it's gone from strictly as a blocker to a guy who caught a few passes to now an integral part of the passing game, sometimes the primary receiver, because a lot of these guys have wide receiver skills, and we're seeing that on display here. Just think about the guys in the past looking back at this game and saying, sure wish that was me. I'd love to have gone out for those types of passes.
So they're still at the original line of scrimmage here. 2nd down and 10. Throwing again. Stafford. Throw left side, taken in by Galladay. And getting this just shy of midfield. They'll spot it at the 49. Give them 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. Stafford on 1st down. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And incomplete. He dropped it in the end zone.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Back to the air. Stafford on 2nd down. And now here is another interception. Picked off at the 38. And now off to the races down the right side. And they will score. It's a pick 6 for the Cardinals touchdown. Oh, this is becoming tough to watch. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. It's picked up. A live ball here, remember. But he will not be able to bring this one back in the extra point attempt. Unsuccessful.
I remember when they changed the rule, and there's a lot of consternation, especially coming from the kickers. Okay, how's this going to affect things, having to kick a longer one now? Much more of a field goal attempt, and the defensive guys saw it as an opportunity to get more block.
That's exactly right. There's more effort now. Before, when it was snapped down near the goal line, you would basically see guys just stand there.
Yeah, not anymore. Now, those guys are going after it because not only can they knock it away and change a little bit of momentum,
they can get 2 points.
They can pick it up and take it back for 2 points.
On 1st down, Stafford here. He's going to let it fly. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on it at 2nd down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
A 2nd down carry for Ferguson. And he powers his way up past the 30. A 6-yard pickup on the ground that time, and that'll make it 3rd and 4 coming up. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. On 3rd down, Ferguson. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
And that is incomplete. 2 seconds left on the clock. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Cardinals will now take over with excellent field position. And barring something unforeseen, this will be the last play of the game. Defense still with 3 timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them here as the kneel down comes. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Arizona, hey, they finish a perfect month of September as they move to 4-0 on the new campaign. And they'll get a few extra days to savor this one before they take on the San Francisco 49ers. Meanwhile, for Detroit, they'll fall back to 500 at 2-2. And they'll look to get back on the beam next week as they host the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So that'll do it. For my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry, I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we say good night from Detroit.